Any change is good change.
Oh, this place is awesome. They have to self-monitor. They have to exercise daily.
The last line of prejudice in this country. There's this much hope left in them.
There's so much we can do to help. Okay.
Molly Carmel is the Deputy Clinical Director.
This is not the end of their life. This is the beginning of their life. I mean, this is not a death sentence. This is like the happiest moment. This is great for them. We're saving lives here. You know a kid's getting better when they stop wearing sweatpants. That's sort of my indicator. You know, they start putting on jeans, they start straightening the hair, put on a little makeup. You're like, all right, you're certainly feeling better about yourself. The denial is very important because that's how they've survived this long. Any change is good change. Any realization is good realization. It doesn't have to be 100%. Life's not about that. It's gray. It's not black and white like that. We don't ask them to do 100% change, because if we asked them to be perfect, they would certainly fail.
She, has seriously saved my life here. Like I'm just amazed that she cared enough about me to do that, you know?
You can't sweet talk the wilderness. You know, it doesn't care how charming you are.
The second skill that we ask the students to acquire is very, very low-fat eating, and that's 20 grams of fat or less a day. When you choose low-fat foods, things like broccoli, soups, fruit, vegetables, you're usually going to be getting high-fiber foods, which keeps you fuller longer. Scientific evidence shows that people who self-monitor 75% of the time are largely people who are weight controllers, and we base all of what we do on scientific evidence. Here's the important thing. It's only going to go lower than this. So don't get upset about what the number is. The first time that they get on the scale, I think a lot of them are skeptical. Let's go. 175.6. Okay, we're just going to go lower than that. And we'll weigh in on Wednesday mornings. We'll just start losing a lot of weight. I think you need to look at a 16-year-old who's been on a diet for 4 years, has spent the last quarter of their life failing at something. And that's just, no matter what, not going to make you feel good. So that's a challenge. And so I'm like your coach, and I'm going to coach you through this whole process. There's stages of change, the honeymoon stage. So you get here and you're like, oh, this place is awesome. I love the food. I'm so excited. And that's the honeymoon stage. And then always you get to frustration. And so when you hit frustration, you're in an environment that's promoting you to get to acceptance, which is the third stage. And you have to have some kind of fear in order to, want to keep on doing this. A kid who's like, I'm really nervous about going home, I'm like, great. A kid who's like, man, I got this, I'm leaving, I'm like, kind of worried. Do you know that you look a lot different? Do you? Your whole face is totally slimmed down with a little pointy chin. It's really easy to gain weight. It's really hard to lose weight.
Yeah, I think of how it's going to be when I go home. I think that's really scary.
I guess you must eat some fast food at home, right?
Yeah.
Mostly everybody's going to lose weight while they're at the school, but doing this in the outside world is a really difficult challenge. I'm really sad, but I'm really excited for you to go. Don't cry.
Because of you, I'm leaving AOS with more knowledge than I thought I would ever have. You're one of the reasons why I survived here. And it's not a goodbye, it's a see you later.
I agree.
Molly Carmel is the Deputy Clinical Director. Let's talk about readiness, and we've talked about that some in the terms of the surgeries. But likewise, being at your school is also about readiness. Are your kids sent there by family, or are they there because they want to be?
It's a really unique environment because every student that we have is there because they want to be. I think they come in with a lot of preconceived notions, a lot of conceptions that society has given them, and they're really looking for an answer, and that's what we give them. We give them a scientifically based answer along with a therapeutic environment to really conquer this in the long term.
What promises do you make?
Well, we make promises that we're going to be a supportive environment to the process that they're going to do. It's a really empowering environment in that this is their program. We're not forcing you to do anything. We're giving you tools and we're giving you coping skills in order for you to be able to take this to the long term.
You include behavioral therapy?
Of course.
What? Well, hello? Yes. Yeah. Of course, because
you need to be changing the way that you're thinking and the methods that you're going about things in order for long-term success. You can't keep on doing the old stuff or else you'll stay the same way. They have to eat very, very low fat. They have to self-monitor. They have to exercise daily. And that's what we are telling our students that they have to do there. Obesity is the last line of prejudice in this country, period. It's acceptable. It's okay. And I think it silences these kids. There's such an unbelievable stigma attached to obesity. It's one of the last lines of acceptable prejudice. One of the aspirations for these students is to just fit into clothes, just be able to make a sports team, just be able to ask a girl out.
This place is for many their last hope before giving up on dreams to be normal.
There's this much hope left in them. And we can get to that hope, and we can help them.
Molly, you're watching the tape. You're saying you want to start crying because these are your kids. You've been where they are now, and you care deeply about them. What is it about this boarding school that you believe works where so many other programs failed? What do you do in a typical day with these kids?
Well, I think there's a few things that we do. First of all, we give them skills, and research shows that there are 3 things that can sort of help to make people what we call long-term weight controllers. And they're very simple skills, but once you master them, it sort of can help you for your long-term results.
What are the skills?
The first thing that we do is we all wear pedometers every day, and I brought you one, Meredith, because
thank you. I can use it.
I just like you. And so we measure our steps every single day. We take 10,000 steps minimum a day, which is about 5 miles, and the average American takes about 2,000 steps. The second thing we do is we write down our food every day in our logs, and we write down the food that we eat, the calories and the fat grams, and also some journaling on the other side.
So you really learn about what you're putting into your body in a very specific way.
Exactly.
And the third?
And the third thing that we do is we eat very, very low-fat food because we find, or not we, but science finds that sort of provides the easiest way to have the weight stay off the longest.
And are these, and they're teenagers really that you're dealing with, these kids then take these skills out into the world and you expect them to every day follow the same thing, keep the pedometer on every day and keep the journal going?
Well, certainly the same way that when someone commits to running a marathon or becoming an Olympic athlete, that's the sort of the way that you need to commit to long-term weight control. My name is Molly Carmel. I'm the clinical director at Academy of the Sierras. Adolescents are in trouble right now. Big, big trouble. We help them to get this one huge piece of their life in order. And once that's sort of taken care of, there's a whole lot of stuff we can do.
This doesn't feel right.
That's an honest statement. I don't know if you understand how invisible these kids are in this world. Such a don't get all teary down. I'm not ready. My dreams came true. The world is so terrible. Terrible to these kids.
I have my days where I want to just go back and say F everything.
It's very overwhelming to see how this epidemic has beaten down on their souls. It just seems like, Sammy, like you've been playing this game with her. We're completely starting this revolution to battle this epidemic.
Since I've been here, I've learned to love myself.
There's no doubt in my mind that at the Academy of the Sierras, people's lives are being saved.
This place is the reason why I'm standing here living today.
And if the world would really have us, there is so much we can do to help.